All right. So we're going to start off with paragraph 1 of the introduction section in the introduction chapter, chapter 1. And we're using as our model the dissertation of Dr. Kimberly Walker. She obtained her doctorate in psychology in February 2022. All right. So the first thing that we need to do in paragraph 1 is we need to state the purpose of the study. All right. And the way you state the purpose of the study is as follows. Now, if it is a quantitative study, you say the purpose of this quantitative and then correlational or whatever methodology you are using, you put there. The purpose of this quantitative correlational study is, okay? That's if you're using a quantitative study. If you're using a qualitative study, okay, a qualitative study, you're going to use the same approach. So the method is either quantitative or qualitative, and the design is either correlational or whatever the design is for qualitative. So if it's a qualitative study, an example would be the purpose of this qualitative ethnographic study is. So you're going to put the method and the design next to each other, and then study is. Okay, that's the formula. So you're going to state that first. Then you're going to go into why the study needs to be done. Okay, you're going to talk about that in a few sentences. And then you're also going to discuss how the result of the study could have a positive impact, either in society or in an organization or whatever environment you're referring to, the schools or whatever. Okay? All right. So let's look at what Dr. Walker did. All right, so Dr. Walker did things a little differently. So what she did is she started out with stating why the study needs to be done and how the results could have a positive impact. She did that in three paragraphs, and then she stated the purpose of the study. So she said, in this study, I specifically examined whether marital quality is one of the aspects of life that are adversely affected by time spent playing MMORPGs when moderated by adult attachment style. I examined the effect adult attachment style and time spent playing MMORPGs has on marital relationships and influences positive social change as professionals in the field of psychology develop ways to treat and work with struggling individuals. Okay? So she basically stated her purpose here. It wasn't in this format, but it was sort of long-winded. I like this format better because it just cuts to the chase. So, Dr. Walker can be a little long-winded when she's writing her stuff. That's just, I don't promote that. Let's get to the point, because the more verbose you are, the more difficult it is for your committee to read and understand your paper. So I try to be as specific as possible. I'm not saying Dr. Walker was wrong because she has her PhD, but I'm just telling you how I recommend you do this. All right. So then all this up here is what she did to sort of talk about why the study needs to be done and what impact it could have. All right. And you can read this on your own if you want. So for example, the use of massively multiplayer online role-playing games provides its users with social interaction, enjoyment, and an escape from their day-to-day lives. MMORPG players dedicate countless hours to their games. Some players view their online relationships with other gamers as just as important as their face-to-face relationships. MMORPGs are a leisure activity that fosters belonging and creates social capital, but also has the potential to cultivate gaming addiction or to manifest isolation. MMORPG communities are as dynamic and complex as real world as the real world. All right. So they set the stage. Dr. Walker sort of sets the stage as to why this is important and why it can be problematic. A comparison between MMORPG players and offline video gamers showed that though the demographic information was similar, there were statistically significant differences in overuse patterns. Overuse patterns are described as players who spend more than 8 hours continuously playing in one session. MMORPG players demonstrated a higher overuse pattern than offline video gamers. Okay, so this is establishing a problem here. This is establishing, the importance, how widespread it is. And then here we talk about, given the reach that has been completed examining MMORPG players, little research has been done examining links between MMORPG use and adult attachment style and marital quality. This is critical aspect to explore because as these games continue to be popular, it is not clear what effect these games are having on individual marital relationships. Okay, so she's setting the stage here for why this is important and why it needs to be done. The purpose of the study here. Okay, so this is the first paragraph. I would condense all this. I would just talk about if I would have done this, I would have put this first in one sentence, and then I would have talked a little bit about. I would have pulled a couple of sentences from this one. I would have pulled a couple of sentences from this one. And that would have been it. I wouldn't have had all these different multiple paragraphs. But anyway, this is your paper. You can do what you want. I'm here as a guide to get you through this. All right? All right, so now let's go on to paragraph 2.